So I bought these ASICS HAL Studios Gel 1130s, and I got them off eBay. I paid resale for them, but I think it was probably £10 more than what they were going for originally for retail, which is not a bad price to pay. And basically, I just like the look of these. I don't really have any ASICs in my collection at the moment, and they're all the vibe at the moment. I bought Kayano's 14s a while ago. I just didn't like the way they looked on feet. I know they're sort of the in thing at the moment, and people are buying those at the moment, and they're very popular. I just didn't like the way they felt on foot. The Kayanos, for some reason, have like this kind of toe area that kind of sort of starts protruding upwards, and I think this is a bit more neutral. I just didn't like the way that looked. It just looked a bit weird. It's kind of similar to an Adidas Samba on foot as well, where I just don't like the way that one looks. It just looks too slim for my foot, which is I feel like a wide foot, so it just doesn't go with anything that how I wear clothes and how I dress. I do like this little tag that they put on here. So it's a clear tag. It's kind of rubberized with like HAL Studios on here, which is cool. But I also like the sneaker itself because you have the neutral colors. So you've got kind of the brown, this kind of beige here, just the HAL Studios. I like this silhouette as well, the 1130, and it's just a neutral sneaker. Glacier colorways a bit more kind of muted compared to the other version that came out, the dark grey version. But I'd rather have these than the other pair. I also like these kind of rough suede, and the leather on here as well. It's cool on there rather than having sort of synthetic material. So yeah, it's just a nice, cool sneaker to have in the collection, and probably the first ASICS one that I'm going to keep. So here are the details for the ASICS HAL Studios Gel 1130 in Glacier. It comes in a Birch and Birch colorway, and it has a gel cushioning with an EVA midsole, and it has a truer stick support system for stability. So that is an ASICS tech that's used, and it has a synthetic leather, suede and mesh upper, so it's a combination of different materials, and the price was £145. In terms of comfort and sizing, I think this is kind of on the more sort of soft to medium side. It could be sort of labelled as medium, but I feel there's a bit of give, kind of similar to a 2002R or a 1906R, because it's a similar sort of runner and it sits sort of low to the ground. And also because it's runner, it has good sort of neutral support around the arch as well. And again, with kind of these kind of trainers, there's sort of no wear in time. And I also think you can go true to size on these. I think the ASICS usually sort of run sort of okay in terms of sort of sizing, so true to size is good. If you want a bit more space, you can go up a half size. And again, for a runner, it has good traction. In terms of the look and style, it has neutral colours, so it's an easy one to sort of match. And I would generally wear these sort of spring summertime, even though the colours are kind of more I suppose can be suited to more sort of wintry type environments, because the colour scheme is more in terms of sort of winter. However, I still feel that it's more of a spring summer trainer because of the breathability in the mesh. It's not going to keep you protected against the elements, and I sort of recommend wearing these sort of casually. You can sort of, I think these ones you can sort of dress them up a little bit smart, but I feel with runners it's best to sort of wear them casually. And they're best with sort of white or grey laces. It comes with a red pair of laces as well, which I think would look cool because there are some little bits of like hits of red on the sneaker, but not too much. But the red that comes with it is quite nice, but it's more of a sort of rope lace. In terms of the final thoughts, it has a neutral comfort, and what I mean by that is it's similar to a 1906 or 2002R. So it feels very sort of soft and kind of flat, I suppose, almost as well. You still have good support around the arch, but it's mainly sort of that kind of feel, and it has a little bit of give to it as well. And they're lightweight like other sort of runners of this style, and sort of smaller silhouettes, so not a chunky silhouette. And I think it has good sort of quality construction, so the materials are used and the way that it's been constructed is just really nice. and like I mentioned, the materials, there's a sort of range of different materials, and they kind of really thought about how the sneaker should be put together, so I kind of like that. In terms of cons, I think because the gel 1130 sort of retails at £95 for a sort of standard GR release, this is priced at, I think it was £145, which I think is way too high. I think because it's a collab, I understand they're using sort of better materials, but I believe the price of sort of 115, 120 probably is more suited for this. And in terms of the ratings, I'd give the look and style a 5. I just think I really just like this sneaker. I think it's awesome, and the way it looks, and it's kind of more what I would go for. And in terms of comfort, again, it's a 4. It's as comfortable as, near enough as comfortable as a sort of 1906R or 2002R, but not quite. So for that reason, I give the comfort a slightly lower rating. And the quality is a 5. I think the materials used on this, even though it's mesh, they've got kind of like a mixture of different materials, and the kind of overall construction, I didn't see kind of any issues with the pair that I had. And the pricing is kind of, I think, a 3. It's just priced way too high. It's almost 50% extra of what it is. Even though the pricing is really high, I still give it a 5. The reason being is I can sort of see me sort of wearing the sneaker quite a lot, because it's neutral colours, and also I feel it's one of the better ASICS collabs. But I feel with this one, it's just a bit more sort of underrated and understated. So I prefer kind of that kind of vibe, really. So yeah, so this is a good one to get, especially because on the resale prices aren't too high at the moment.